perfect. Wow.
That was a really good one.
That was pretty good. All right.
I want to make a disclaimer. This episode, Eldon's mic does not actually work. He's on a lavalier microphone.
But I'm gonna pretend it's my mic. Like a
Pussy.
I'm gonna pretend it's my mic.
You're still gonna pretend it's your mic.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk into it, like, because I keep forgetting.
Gotta
honestly.
sell the effect.
Oh my god, we are all filmmakers. We're fucking
a
amazing.
lavalier mic is one that you would put on for an interview, for a documentary of sorts.
Or corporate video or whatever.
Basically, it's a mini mic that's wireless usually, and it's hidden. So it's more appealing. So you're not just holding a giant microphone to your face. That's what I meant.
Or putting a giant one on the camera that's far away from the subject.
Yes. Yes.
Today, we're going to talk about Q's set that we talked about in the last episode. It's been a while since that first episode.
Oh, yeah?
A lot of things have happened.
A lot of
My
things.
laptop is covered in vinegar. And
Wait, what happened to
Eldon
that?
got a haircut, and
What's my
Eduardo's about to have a mental breakdown. So
No mental breakdowns.
What happened to your laptop?
My
Why is it
laptop?
covered in
Oh,
vinegar?
yeah. Funny story. I was trying to clean the screen on my laptop, and
With vinegar? What?
with vinegar, like
Which you can use
Whoa.
to
In
be
DIY.
doses.
in
No, you have
small
to mix it
doses
with water.
distilled water.
Yeah.
This spray bottle, which I thought was like lens cleaner or something.
Because
It was
said
labeled,
so.
wasn't it?
It was not. Was it
The
labeled?
label said glass cleaner.
Yeah, okay,
I think
yeah.
we assumed that it was.
What it
That's
said.
what it was because everything around it was just like cleaning products.
Right.
So why would it be
Is
filled
it
with
glass
vinegar?
cleaner? It didn't say screen
I
cleaner.
don't know.
Say glass.
What
No,
point
I
is-
think no, Nolan.
What?
You told me it was. I could clean my laptop.
Yeah, Nolan.
what
No,
the
I
fuck,
do take
Nolan?
partial responsibility.
No, I don't blame you, but
Okay, 'cause
it
on the-
seemed like it was.
Yes, on the bottle it said
Yeah.
you can use it to clean glass. So I was like, oh, hey, Q, let's use this. To be fair, we shouldn't have sprayed it right on the screen.
Oh, we
We
should
should have
have
sprayed it on a towel first. We didn't realize it was straight vinegar.
And a lot came out.
A lot.
It was like wet.
Are you guys used to that? I'm used to a lot of
Just a
things
lot
coming out.
pouring out.
Just everywhere.
puddles.
Absolute puddles.
And
Men.
now my laptop is with Apple. So
I walked in and half his screen was black. The other half was.
And then
fine.
at one point it just stopped displaying
just stop-
entirely.
Just stop pulling through.
Yeah, it smelled
gone
really
now.
bad. Good times. Good times.
Now I'm sad. Got to go to KCR to do my work.
Can you do your work without your laptop though?
What do you mean? Oh yeah.
Don't
I mean,
you
I
have,
have to.
KCR?
I
No,
come
he
here.
needs
I've been
like
coming
Oh.
here.
He needs a computer.
Oh,
Because if you guys don't remember,
sorry, I keep
Q's
getting KCR and KPBS mixed up in my head because I'm
You know,
not there.
The K is a misleading.
If you guys don't remember,
Letter.
Q's actually an editor, and an editor without his
Are you?
computer is like
Are you an editor?
Am I?
a car without its engine.
Wow.
I thought you were
a
director
mother
writer.
without her
Beautiful
child,
analogy.
an
thought you
angel
were,
without its wings.
That's a bar.
Q's
Absolute bars.
yeah, not a rapper.
So now Q has to wait a little bit to edit. Well, he can still come to KCR and use the computers to edit. However, he can't do it from the privacy of his own home where
It's
he likes
actually
to be.
nice here though, because
Oh,
every
yeah.
time I've come here, there's no one here.
Yeah.
This place
Just
is
like
absolutely
yeah, I
great.
Hey,
come
I
in
mean,
here,
it
I
could've
turn
been
on
worse.
the lights, and then
Let me-
Imagine
let
you
me-
did that
let me-
before your set.
let me
Like,
talk on-
imagine you did that before you set, and you were
Let me
like,
talk about this area. What's outside this podcast room studio? There's 2 iMacs, some very aesthetic desks and some lamps. There's a projector, free printing, mini fridge, coffee machine, couch.
we have it pretty
piano.
good.
There's a
We have it
button
pretty
maker.
good.
Piano, dude. There's a button.
Oh,
Nice.
Q was like, we should make some buttons for our
Oh
show.
yeah. And so because it's like a lounge area outside, if you guys hear any like loud noises coming from outside, they're having like a
People are lounging.
movie
they're
night.
lounging, like a movie night.
Tonight's selection,
Oh. fuck.
Halloween.
Yeah. Oh.
I wish they weren't watching Halloween. I
Biggity
chose
boo.
a different film. I chose whatever you chose.
What did I choose? Oh, I chose The Thing.
Yeah, I
Would
wanted to
they
watch
would
the
have been
thing.
so good.
Have you seen The Thing?
Yeah.
So good.
That's a
Oh,
great
man.
film.
Have you seen
Okay.
it?
Eduardo
I don't-
has
I don't know if
two
you-
copies, and it took him like 3 months to watch it.
I have two copies.
He was just trying to decide which Blu-ray do I watch? Which one? Fuck.
I had the director's cut as
And
well.
then so what he did
Yeah.
was sandwich both CDs and stick it into the video player.
Thought if you just shove it in, they play at the same time.
They did, actually.
Yeah.
That's how it
It's
works.
actually
Holy.
a better movie that way.
Where the disc is all scratchy and blew up.
Best.
Oh, and what happened today, Eduardo? What happened today? Tell him what happened today.
My neighborhood lit on fire.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, we live in Southern California, where it can't go 5 minutes without it. It can't go 5 minutes
It's
without it
funny.
being in flames. And so it's off of two streets, Fairmount and Montezuma, and there was a ton of fire.
Oh,
and
yeah.
his area got evacuated today.
Yes, it did.
They had like
There's-
3 helicopters
there's a-
dropping fire and
You still
retarded.
It was.
Do you still have a home, or are you homeless now?
I have a home.
You don't
I
have power,
a
though.
home. Oh, my power went out too. It's back now though. My phone's dead. Ish. Yeah.
Anyways,
What do you do?
But Q set. So
My
that
set.
was like what, last weekend?
Was it?
Oh no,
2
it was 2 weeks
weeks
ago.
ago now?
2
Yeah.
weeks ago. Wow,
Mhm.
Where'd you
already.
get this rag?
From the whiteboard. Kind of nice.
Trying to share this rag?
No.
Here, there you go. Here, share this rag.
You're taking
But,
too much space. Okay. There we go.
Nice.
Nice.
You guys
Sorry.
done yet?
What?
You guys done yet? Can I continue?
Yeah, go
Alright,
ahead.
cool.
Proceed.
So Q was the director slash that. Anyways, Q was the director slash writer. Eduardo was the DP, obviously. And
Obviously.
Nolan was the
Sound mixer and
And-
boom up, because I
Pussy.
well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to
in a
that.
second. And I was the AD, obviously, because
The animal dick.
distributor,
Yeah.
animal distributor.
that was
That's
that
what
was,
he does, right? He takes a bunch of animals that are on set
Just
and like spreads them
balls
out, make
them
sure
up,
that they're doing all
put
the
them in
same
a ball
fucking
and
thing.
throw it. So, location. What was the location?
Oh, it's a B&B that I found.
Airbnb.
For free.
Airbnb.
It was an
for free?
Airbnb.
Very reasonable prices. Didn't hardly cost anything.
It was a nice house. It
The
was like,
fucking steel.
was it the biggest house we filmed in?
Huh?
No, I mean, I
No.
think Aaron's house is bigger.
Oh, that's true.
Aaron's house was the house I originally wanted.
He wrote it based on
I did.
Aaron's house.
Are you serious?
Oh my god, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Have you seen? Have you
I
been
wasn't
to-
there, no.
It's amazing.
It's a beautiful abode.
It's so beautiful.
But what happened? Oh, and so it was a 3-day shoot. Wow. I'm gonna tell the audience what was the shooting time, the production time. It's 42 hours for 3 days. 42 hours.
That can't be true.
No, it was
No.
entirely true, dude.
I think it
42?
went. That was
Yep.
generous. I
That's
counted
for
every
all
day.
crew, actors, department heads, or
That's department heads. I just counted when I got there. For the most part, like give or take, crew, like general crew, they probably did around 39 hours, above 36 at least hours. But department heads, we were there 42 hours this weekend at least.
We had a pretty packed weekend.
Yeah. Well,
And we lost like 2 or 3 hours each day because there's like one disaster after another happening. Just like one major
Oh,
one
yeah.
each day.
So
We sound kind of hypocritical because the last time we talked, it's like a bunch of problem solving.
hey, but
right?
we got it done.
Hmm?
But
No,
it
no,
was
no,
problem
no.
solving.
That
We got
doesn't
it
mean there
fixed.
weren't any problem. Like we had to work around that schedule because even if we had that time, there's just too many shots to go through. And I was
Way
constantly
too
having,
many shots.
You know, on paper it seemed like a good idea, but then when you actually have to do it, it's like
Let me tell you guys. For the third day, we had, what was it? One scene had over 20 shots planned.
is this the foot massage?
That was the foot massage scene. 21 shots, Q. But it's fine. We got it done.
When
It
you
worked
see
out.
it, you're gonna
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna eat those words.
Oh, no.
You're gonna say
Look,
Phantasm.
I think it would have worked. Definitely. We could have kept everything if we had just one more day. If we had one more day, I
One more.
wouldn't have to have to. What am I saying? I didn't have to cut anything. Like, I didn't
"One
want
more
to.
thing."
Shout out Jackie Chan's Adventures.
Bad day, bad day, bad day. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
But so again, part of my job as AD is to keep everyone on schedule, and like if an AD wasn't there, then like the film wouldn't have finished. So we had to keep things going.
Technically, the film isn't finished.
Oh, that's right, because I had to. We had to
'Cause we
move
still have
one
to-
scene
yeah.
to
Is it
another
one
day.
scene or
One,
two?
it's two
No,
scenes,
one
but in the same
location,
room.
like 2 or 3 scenes.
Yeah.
Very
I think it's
small.
3.
Very small.
No, it's
Yeah.
two. It's two.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I guess you guys can split up in three, but what you guys wrote.
But we're not done shooting. Is the point?
So first day, the check-in time for this B&B was 4 p.m. and then
We
this-
had to wait like 2 hours because we were basically trying to sneak around.
which was planned. It was planned.
Yeah, and then she all of a sudden just like, she said she wouldn't be there, and then
No. She said, okay, so originally it was planned that the owner was going to come and visit us and I guess check in on us before we actually unpack and everything like that.
No. When we got there, she wasn't there, and she said she was going to be.
And then she said she was going to be there around 6.
Yeah, so we got there, and then like 30 minutes after we were there, she just texts us and says that she's gonna be there like 2 hours later.
Here's some context.
Which-
We can't have people start loading equipment in when she was,
Yeah. Disclaimer,
might
like
be there.
Because she didn't
The-
know that we were shooting something there.
a lot of Airbnb houses don't allow parties or events or anything like that. And I mean, a film set technically
This
counts
was
as an
both a
event.
party and an event.
Yes, it was. He's right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we were going crazy with the booze and the smoking and shit.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, but then I mean, we didn't want to risk it, getting kicked off set and then or kicked off the property and then not be able to shoot. So we were like, hey, you know what? We had general crew like hide out in the car, like don't come in until she leaves, and then like we waited until 7. And then she texted our producer and was like, hey, I'm not gonna be here today. And we're like, oh my god, okay, so let's start loading equipment. We actually got the equipment into the house. We had so much equipment. We had 4 or 5 cars worth of equipment filled with equipment.
Nice.
Okay, but we
Worth
got in. We were
it.
already an hour behind schedule. No, technically we were
No,
3 hours behind
more.
schedule.
Yeah,
because
come on.
originally I had a plan that we were gonna meet with her, and then we were gonna get everything set up, and then first shot would go up at around 6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
We didn't start shooting until 9:30 p.m.
How behind were we that day?
3 hours. 3 hours behind.
By the end of it?
By the end of it, we were 4 hours behind.
Which to normal people, 3 hours doesn't
Give me a
really
headache.
sound that long. But the problem is when you're on a film set and you can be as efficient as you
You
can
get
be.
so much done in 3 hours, or you
Exactly.
can.
Yeah.
So that's bad.
No, you absolutely can get a ton done in 3.5 hours, 4 hours. Especially if you have a crew that can like actually roll with the punches. They don't even have to necessarily be a good crew. As long as you get like department heads that know what they're doing and you have kids that are willing to work and stuff like that, I think you
Ryan,
can do a whole ton
our
of 3
key
hours.
grip.
Which we did. I had an amazing crew. Everyone,
Hey,
even
thanks.
the PAs. No
There's only
complaining.
one?
Very,
Well,
PA?
We had to fire one individual
one?
on the second day.
so basically everyone that hadn't been a part of our group did amazing, which was very helpful because we were so far behind the entire time. And even when they a lot of them didn't know what this was, their first time on actual set because they're either new into the program or new to the school, and I'm very proud of them and my crew.
A lot of the productivity
You're proud of me.
or the efficiency goes
yeah.
to our
Cool.
gaffer,
Very.
Cody Griffin, and our key grip, Ryan Dang. Ryan was phenomenal that weekend, dude. He was like, he was not once did I see him sitting down other than lunch. He was literally falling asleep with his eyes open. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, he told us. He was like,
On the
I was
third
falling
day-
asleep with my eyes open, guys.
On the third day, he sat on the couch and he was just staring off into the distance. And I was like, "Hey, you good, bro? You need water, snacks, or anything?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, I was just resting my eyes." I was like, "Dude, your eyes are open." He's like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Okay, cool." But yeah, like we had, oh man, crazy amounts of equipment that we had to bring upstairs, downstairs, back upstairs, downstairs. I mean, on all 3 days, obviously, we didn't shoot, downstairs, then come back upstairs and downstairs. But for the most part, like the first day, the only problems that we ran into was
It was just when the lady
Yeah.
cut out like 2 or 3 hours of our time because we had to wait for her. But other than that, we got moving.
I mean,
Yeah.
they also showed up on day 2 and went to their garage and
Oh,
started sawing
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, and we had electrical problems.
Because he
'Cause
was
of them.
using
No,
so much power.
no, it wasn't.
No,
It wasn't.
no.
They had electrical problems before we got there. I talked to the owner, and they said that lights were flickering. Like, oh, if you guys see any lights flickering or anything, that's because we have some electrical issues happening in the house right now. And so she was like, oh, I'm trying to get my husband to fix it. She didn't tell us that before we moved in. Imagine we blew out like the entire house, like fried all the wires.
I'm surprised we didn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
we were
Worth
using some
it.
hefty lights.
I'm just trying to figure out what the husband was working on.
That was a power saw that was down the neighborhood.
He was working in the RV. No. That was down the street.
That was down the
Sure.
street.
Yeah,
The power
yeah.
saw was
No,
down
there
the
were no
street.
power saws being used in the house.
Yeah.
So the husband for the in the house layout on the side yard, there was an RV that was parked. It was plugged into the house. I assume it was plugged into the garage because it was going under the door that led into the garage, which we didn't have access to. And the RV had a plug going from either the inside of the RV or it might have been the outside where like you can charge it up or at least have it powered up. But it was going into the garage and we were like, oh, well, we can't really mess around with anything. So we went out to the breakers and I was with Cody, our gaffer, and I said, hey, we have this much ampage that we could use if we turn off these certain rooms. And thankfully, at least a few of the rooms, the ones that actually mattered, they actually had labels on them. So the laundry room was labeled, and we could pull like 70 amps from that.
That's a
and there
lot.
was that's a lot. And then there was another room that had 30 amps. So we had 100 amps to work with, and that worked out really well because we had a 2K light. We had a 2K light that was set up in the backyard, and we had to daisy chain that, which that was crazy. I hated doing that. we did it.
What's
from,
daisy chaining?
Daisy chaining is when you take 2 extension cords and you plug them into each other. But because of what we were filming and like what we could see in the frame, and because of where the room was that we could plug into, we had to daisy chain it all the way around the house, like around the
literally
side yard,
the
into
laundry
the
room
backyard.
into we plugged it into the laundry room because that's where we turned off the 70 amps, and then we had it going into the bathroom, up the bathtub, through the little window, through the bathtub, all the way to the back side of the backyard, all the way around to where the light was set up in the backyard.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 extension cords. It wasn't that long, but when you're dealing with something that's got 2,000 watts of wattage going into it, that was kind of scary. I was like, it's either going to break the breaker or it's going to break the light.
And so, for you guys that don't know, like, if you're messing with a light that draws that much power, make sure that, one, safety, obviously, and 2, you know what you're doing. You want a gaffer who understands electricity and that you guys aren't pulling too much power because you guys will fry the fuse and fry the wires. And also that you guys use the proper wiring because, like, a regular Stinger, you can't plug into a 2K or else, like, that'll just blow up.
I also think that's why LEDs are so popular now with people who don't know what they're doing. No, LEDs are good options nowadays because they don't draw power like at all, and they have a relatively similar output to lights like moles that we use and prefer. But they don't have the same texture look to it, I don't think.
Also,
But
heat.
good option.
LEDs
Yeah.
don't, dude. The 2K, we literally lit a cigarette when it was in the backyard. Yeah, we lit a cigarette. It worked. I was joking, and then me and Cody went to the backyard and we just pressed it against the light, and the cigarette lit. It was that hot, but luckily it was outside. I mean, you don't want a 2K inside. You never use like anything bigger than a 1K indoors, right? I mean, well,
Unless you want it to be like
whatever
a.
fits the
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Obviously, it's just more dangerous, but
There was one time, this is a little off track, but there was one set that I did, and they wanted to simulate moonlight with a 1K, but it was from the second story because they were filming in a bedroom on the second story, and this is insanely dangerous. I don't advise any of you do this, but what they did was they took a compound stand and took a bunch of mounting arms, like from a mounting kit, and they extended it another 3 feet, and so there was just a 1K waving up in the air, like waving up in the
A
wind.
mole?
Yeah, a mole. And it was daisy chained all the way down, and it was up about 30 feet. And they told one of the grips to go sit outside in 30-degree weather because it was during December in San Diego, and when you start going a little bit more south, it starts to get a little bit colder.
Project here.
Yeah, it was a project for SDSU.
What year? What semester?
It was
560?
before you were here.
560.
It was a 560.
Who did it?
Taya.
Ah, no.
And so
I know Tayo. He's cool.
I was sick, and they were like, "Hey Nolan, can you go sit outside with it?" I said, "Sure." I brought a down jacket, and I was sitting outside in 30-degree weather. I was still cold as shit, and I'm just watching to make sure that the 1K doesn't fall.
I mean, honestly, what would you do though if the 1K literally started tipping over?
No,
Like-
you at least gotta grab the stand. You
I
at least gotta
mean-
grab the stand. If the light breaks, the light breaks. If the stand falls and hits the side of the house, or it falls into the other neighbor's yard, that's an even bigger problem.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they shouldn't have done that in the first place. There's a lot of different ways they could have done that, other than having a freaking 1K
We get
light.
the light.
We
the second
placed a
floor.
light on the top of an RV that was
In the
next to
side.
the house.
Yeah, do it
Yeah.
the right way.
Yeah.
We did do
Climb
Put it
someone
on
else's
top of-
property illegally.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Don't do that.
Also, another fun thing that we did, we had to simulate lightning.
Oh, that
in-
was so cool.
I think
In
this
one
is
of
one
the
of my
rooms.
favorite projects thus far, especially with lighting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we had a lot of equipment, as Eldon mentioned, but it's because we got like every light from checkout, and
Yeah.
we put every single one to use. Like,
You did a
fucking
lot.
awesome.
Yeah.
He,
So
Yeah,
he
buddy.
recreated daylights.
he really did.
We did one day for night scene, which is basically, I mean, it's what it means. We simulated daylight during the night, like a day scene during the night. That was insane. They had you guys had a Dracast outside. You guys had a
Oh,
sky
did we
panel
have a
outside.
Dracast and the L7C, and maybe the Sky Panel.
No, we did have the sky panel outside in the front yard.
Three of our brightest lights just punching into the window, and then you had one 1K on the other side of the house, bleeding light throughout everywhere, so it looked like it was daylight. It was insane. That looked really freaking good. Like, kudos to Cody and DP Eduardo.
So for those of you who want to know, you can get daylight while it's nighttime outside.
But
Don't
to-
bother the neighbors, 'cause we were shooting.
it was like a controlled pocket.
Yeah.
So it would have been much harder to do if we had to cover the entire room.
You know, we were shooting like a 2K straight into some child's room who has special needs.
Oh
Yeah.
So
It was like-
the neighbors came next door.
She was really nice about it too.
The neighbors came over to our house and knocked on our door. We were like, "Who is this?" And she said, "I'm the neighbor next door." And they were complaining about us
Really?
The day
nights
before. They took pictures.
We were
yeah,
just
yeah.
a little too
Uh-huh,
loud.
yeah.
So we tried to contain the volume, but the biggest thing was the light. She had a child that couldn't fall asleep next door, and our light, to be fair, we had tried to block it off, but also on her part, she
fart?
her fart.
I heard
her
that
part-
too.
On her part,
I fart
the
too.
light was bleeding into her kid's room. So I think we had Cody go out and talk to her, or someone went out and
Oh no,
talked to
it was
her.
just like we had tarps all the way around. Like we definitely tried to control it, but it was just like a part of the tarp was like separated a little bit, so the light was bleeding into her room. Cody literally went outside, grabbed a clip or a clamp, and then just boom.
No, but he still talked to her for like a solid 10 minutes because she just kept
Oh, she
complaining
really
and
wanted us to
complaining.
turn it off, yeah. Because the day before, I mean, as film majors or as filmmakers, you're gonna deal with these things all the time, and we don't have the biggest budget where we can just get like Hollywood set where we can do whatever the hell we want. So if you always deal with this, I mean, just be nice, be courteous, kind of thing.
Be courtois, or courtois.
What does that mean?
It's just a fun It's just a fun way to say courteous.
Courtois.
Courtois.
Do you have
I mean-
chivalry, sir?
Not everyone's like signed up for the film set. We have to remember that. We're always in public places, even if you're in private property. You have to understand that, like, so you can't have like crew running around the backyard screaming, which didn't happen. It's just, I mean,
Yeah, but the amount of quiet on sets that happened.
oh yeah, that's a big
Mr.
issue.
AD, man.
Oh man, that was very frustrating.
You're so mean.
That's my job. You gave me this job.
Mean.
You were so loud, Q. You were
Huh?
one of the loudest people.
Was that?
Swear to
Q?
God.
Shut the
No
fuck up,
way.
Yeah, dude.
No,
You're
was
talking
he?
to the sound guy. Yes, Q was loud as hell.
Oh,
Me?
That's funny.
Yes.
Oh wait, that's because he was calling out Q's the entire. Q was calling out Q's the entire time.
Yeah.
This is funny.
I said
Ryan.
lightning,
No, you said Ryan.
and then you
Ryan,
said
big
speak up,
one?
and I said lightning.
Give me a big one.
Oh, Ryan was outside with the switchboard to the
Bastard.
light.
So we have to describe the setup that they had. So the shot was on the second floor or on the second story.
Had the light mounted on. Actually, no.
No, that one was on the floor.
Yeah. We had it on the floor, and then we had a 6x6 leaning against
The RV.
the wall of the house
Yeah.
from the RV.
Was that sanded off?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But it was
Safety
creating like
first,
a
kids.
like a 45, not no, sorry, a 90-degree angle. So the light was like coming into the window, and it
Yeah.
looked great.
It looked really good because it was really diffused, but it was also still really punchy, like the way lightning is supposed to be. And the light comes with a dimmer, with a control dimmer on it. And what that control dimmer allows you to do is you can tell it how much light it outputs and how much it keeps in. And so he was just going through and
Oh no!
Going crazy.
The one upstairs, they had the actual control box with preset settings.
no, not the Dracast.
No, not
that
for
was the
like,
one that I was
murder
on.
scene.
No, the murder.
Oh, the
scene.
murder scene. Oh, that's my bad.
The Dracast though, which is or not the Dracast, the Sky Panel has a controller on it.
Yeah.
So there's a light called a Sky Panel. They make one that's got 50 cells, and then they make another one that's got 100 cells. That one's massive. It's big, but the one that we have, it has a control box on it, and you can do different settings on it. There's a lot of different settings on it. Like you can do police bars, you can do lightning, you can do weather effects on it that aren't just lightning. And if you just figure out and like check it by eye, you can kind of play around with it. And the only problem that I have with it is you can't really control it like how you want. Like you can't just press a button and have it like do a little flash of lightning.
It's so systematic. It was-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked
at some
good at
point, I
first.
just told Ryan like it's too consistent, so to just like change it up.
Yeah.
But I think in a shoot like this, it kind of helps that it is systematic a little bit because like there is a lot of timing and cues that have to
Oh,
be
no.
hit on the same on a proper mark.
No, I think for that reason, that's why I had to call it off because I was so choreographed to like the shots that I
Yeah.
had planned out.
Right.
But
We also had to sync it up every time because we were getting different angles. We needed the lightning to be hitting on the same cues and stuff.
Yeah,
We
so
had to
one
do
of
it
the
ourselves.
one of the shots that we had was from the back or toward the back of the house near the backyard, which was the Jerrycast I was on, and the camera walked through to the front of the house, and we had to sync up the lightning because there was two different lights doing two different lightnings, and so I would stop at one point, and then Cody at one point started saying Ryan, Ryan. It was about halfway.
I think-
it was around a corner.
I think that scene right there, as the AD, was the most frustrating for me, because it's like I didn't blame
put
though.
us-
Yes.
like, that set us back that first day.
Because-
Wait, when did we shoot that? I don't
Mm-mm.
remember.
we had a
Dates
dolly,
ago,
but
yeah.
we didn't have a dolly that
Oh
tracked
my
throughout
God.
the house.
We tried to get that shot like
They-
4 different ways.
Yeah, because they
We
needed
just-
to like smooth. We didn't have a steady cam either.
Skateboard, rolling chair.
We had at least 7 different.
Dude, you guys had like apple boxes on a piece of carpet with the sticks on the apple boxes.
Like pull it.
Yeah, it was way too heavy for that. And then, so I mean, I don't blame them. They wanted to get the shot, and it's like we're not gonna just settle for less kind of thing. But that took like an hour to figure out. Then you guys decided to
No
just go ahead.
more.
No,
I
dude.
remember
Okay,
that
yeah,
took
it was like a
long
long time.
Yeah.
So we talked
Um,
about the lights that we used.
Oh, I
What
got.
kind
I have a question.
Oh.
What was it like shooting something so like underexposed or like in such low light? Cause
Pretty cool.
yeah, was it scary?
Yes, very much.
Like, okay, so I get that the cameras that we used were like very professional cameras and cine cameras, but like for those that don't understand, shooting something in that low light, how'd you get rid of the grain? How'd you minimize the grain?
Well, we stayed in the native ISO of the cameras. We weren't risking grain too much throughout the whole process. But basically, and my professor emphasizes this a lot, use a damn light meter. We're able to get accurate readings, and we were just underexposing by like half a stop,
Yeah.
half full stop. But
Cause you'd never shot anything quite like that before, had you?
I've never shot anything that dark, both
Yeah.
like thematically as well as like just like camera wise.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It was wild. But I mean, it worked out. It honestly, like, I mean, I haven't seen the finished product yet, but just watching the whole
Seen the
process.
trailer?
I have not seen. This is a trailer.
Are Are you okay if I
Coming
upload
soon.
that?
Is it done?
It's not
I haven't-
done
No,
yet. It's
not-
not done yet.
Not that trailer, the joking trailer.
No, it's not
the
done
tr-
yet.
Oh, okay.
No, that was something I made in like.
Should we
30
make an
minutes.
act? Can you,
Wait.
do you want to make
I'm
an
going-
actual
I'm
trailer?
going to make an actual one after this weekend.
But honestly, like even though everyone was tired as hell, like literally, like
Okay,
we shot more than 12 hours a day,
how-
but crew morale, honestly though, it's pretty good.
I mean,
For the
I'm
most part.
surprised. I would have.
yeah, that
Yeah.
Nah.
the crew was very game for the considerable challenges we had.
They
Yeah.
liked your idea. That's all it
Yeah.
was. They liked your idea, and they believed in you.
And then yeah, we were all like, we're all friends, and then most of us on set, you know, we all knew each other, and we knew how dedicated Q was to this project and how much that we wanted to make this. And
I don't know anymore.
but yeah, no, I was actually really surprised. No one like, I mean, we had one person who kind of just gave up the second day.
So I think the problem with him, with this specific person, was he was trying to help out more than what his position would be, which that's a little problematic too. Because if you're a kid starting out on film shoots, you can stay in your lane, try and stay in your lane as much as you can. But also, it is nice to help, and it is nice to get help. But just try and stay in your lane and realize what type of position you have. So after,
especially considering how crunched on time.
Oh
we
yeah,
were. Like
we
didn't
can't
have any.
The
time
thing is,
to
I
waste.
had a big issue with him while we were like trying to set up for the next shot. He would jump into the room and then he would. Okay, so basically the issue that we had, he wasn't a department head, and he would talk to Q about how he should set up the shot and like how he should direct the film. I think that's the biggest issue with a lot of filmmakers is like. Everyone wants to learn. Everyone wants to do, try different positions. But there's a time and a place for that. You have to learn from others before you. If you feel like there's like a suggestion, ask someone, talk to someone, and say, hey, maybe this might work out. But sometimes, if you're on a professional set, you're not going to just walk up to the director and start directing like a real actress. You're not going to start directing like an A-list actress or actor. Like that's just not how it works. You have to stay in your lane. It's not. We're not shooting
A lot
on
of
mommy's
people
camcorder
here-
anymore. This is like we're trying here.
A
as
lot of
professional.
people step out of line.
Yes, and it happens.
Very.
it's
a
very
lot.
important to stay in line with your job, because if you don't stay in line with your job, you're going to piss off a lot of people. You're going to slow down the process. It's not going to be efficient. Just stay as far in your lane as you possibly can. And if you think that you can help out, if you have a minute to go help out, ask someone who you can help out. And that someone would be the assistant director. You can ask the producer. Do not talk to the director. Do not talk to the DP. You can talk to the key grip. You can talk to sound, maybe.
Best boy.
That's why. Yeah.
You can talk to best boy.
You can talk to your department head. If your department head is, yeah, you can talk to your department head if they're not busy.
I think it's just getting in the way of
It
the
is.
schedule is the most important thing. It's not like you can't communicate with
'Cause
people. It's just
But yeah, I think that's the biggest issue we have with other filmmakers, not just specifically at State, but everywhere else. Is like a lot of people they have an ego, which is fine.
It's fine if you're good.
Well, yeah, no, not just that. Like it means that you can take criticism well. It means that you can people. Yeah, you can take criticism well.
Oh, some spooky shit going on in the hallways out here.
Is that Q? Is Q okay?
He just took a massive dump.
All right, right outside in the hallway.
Sounded like a wolf.
But it's fine if you have an ego. It means you can take criticism and take some hits and be okay at the end of the day. But then when you end up refusing to understand an instruction and knowing your place, that's when like literally what happened to this guy. I mean, we fired him. He got fired. He didn't come back because we just couldn't
He
have
or
that.
she, we don't know who it was.
Yeah, you're right. She was fired.
Them was fine.
Them was fired. They was fired. And yeah, I mean that's just how it went. And the thing is, he's not going to be called on our sets anymore because
Yeah.
I mean, he can work on other sets. That's up to him. But just, I mean, in terms of us, he's not coming back.
Just a quick comment. That happened to me my first semester in the film program here with a guy who was in my group, and he has not worked on a single set after that.
What do you do? What happened?
Dude, word travels really fast in
Yeah.
the film industry. That's kind of like what happened with me. When I went to work on the musical theater bit. I was supposed to go to an event, and it was during the start of Tech Week, and they said you can't go, and I understood. I was a little upset, but I don't want to get blacklisted, and I also don't want people to not put me on their sets, whether it's theater, film, anything. I want to do as much work as I possibly can without too much detriment to myself.
Yeah.
I'm not good at that, though.
And I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, because right now we're being pretty lenient. In the film industry, like, blacklist is a real thing. Like, no one's going to hire you if you don't have experience. I mean, you might be a cable wrapper for the rest of your life, but, I mean, that's fine if that's what you want to do. But, I mean, you're never going to move up the ladder if you don't respect other people.
Not even a grip, just a cable wrapper.
Yeah. No, seriously. It's like what I'm trying to say. Like, basically just understand your position, understand where you at, and then you can grow. Like, it doesn't mean that you can't do these things ever again. People spend, 20, 30 plus years in the industry just to get the chance to make their own thing. And if you just mess up once, you're screwed.
Yeah. There's Q. Q's coming back.
Qasim Hussein.
Are you ready to fuck, dude?
Wait, the fuck?
There's our clip.
Alright,
There's our clip.
that's our outro.
That should be your thumbnail, just like. Here. Get up real quick. Alright. 1, 2, 3.
No sound?
I don't grunt.
Oh, you know what?
I'm a quiet kind of guy.
Do sound.
Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, welcome to Reel to Reel.
That's as real as it gets.
Wait, which reel are we talking about? Like film reel?
Maybe now.
Might be now. So on the second day, there was like a murder scene, and we had to hire a special effects artist. I know. So that also adds on to like know your place kind of thing. She changed the entire schedule because we hired her for an entire day. She got there at 4 p.m., which is when I told her to be
An
there, so she
entire
could get ready.
day in the industry is at least 12 hours.
Yeah.
At the very minimum.
At the
8.
very minimum.
At the very minimum 8.
Yeah. And
I don't think I've
so
ever
she
been
got
on a
there,
film
and then
set
I mean,
for that short.
things changed, things happened, and obviously our schedule got pushed back. And so, I mean, for like 2 hours, she was sitting there not doing anything because she already got everything ready.
She got there kind of early, man.
I know, because
But
originally-
the point is, she wasn't there for nearly as long as she was supposed to.
Yeah, she was there for 4 hours and said that she needed to go pick up her daughter. Dude, instant blacklist. But we still needed her. We can't just say, okay, leave. We don't need you anymore kind of thing. So we had to move the entire schedule around, the entire shoot schedule around her schedule, which, I mean,
Around her daughter.
around her daughter.
Fuck her daughter, dude. Straight up.
I don't know you, but
Straight up.
fuck
I
you,
hope
man.
you don't have any friends.
Oh God, maybe she doesn't. But yeah. So I mean, we're student films. Maybe she felt like that she can do whatever she wants. We paid for it. I
She
don't know.
gave me an attitude.
Yeah.
Like I was just stressing out on how to do it logistically, and every suggestion I had or like idea,
Are you supposed?
she was just like give me a smug smile, like I was the stupidest person in the world.
I don't think she was
and
supposed to be
then-
talking to you. I don't think she should have been talking to
No,
the director at all.
definitely not.
She should have been talking to the producer or to the assistant
No,
director.
the only reason she talked to Q was because Q
No,
wanted
I
a
went-
specific
Yeah,
effects on
I
his
went
face.
over to her to
That-
talk
that's
to
it.
talk to her. Yeah.
And so he didn't even get a lot of time to talk to her. And even then, she was like giving him attitude. It's like, look, we hired you for this day. If you don't want to be here, you didn't need to come. You could have just
She
denied
didn't.
us.
She wasn't prepared.
She wasn't.
She didn't have what she needed.
We
so
needed
we
to
had
go
to
out
go
and-
out and get it for her.
Yep. So again, blacklisted. We're never gonna hire her. She's probably never gonna work for another San Diego State film again. But yeah, I mean, it was a
She's
stressful
never gonna
weekend.
make it.
Yeah, I mean, she's
Bro,
doing
she's like 50 something.
she's working for student films, and if she's acting
Yo,
like
she
that,
made money. All right.
$250.
That's nothing.
I paid her.
that's
Hey.
nothing for the
I mean, I hope-
professional
I hope
industry.
That's not her day job.
That was a steal.
But like, still, yeah.
I got
I mean, I guess
robbed.
yeah, but
He was robbed by both the makeup artist and the Airbnb.
Oh my
Wanna
god.
tell
mean,
him how much
everyone
you
has
spent
to
on the
invest
Yeah,
something,
you
Airbnb,
spent a
right?
lot of
buddy?
money
I
on the
don't.
set.
Hey,
want-
buddy.
It's
Hey, buddy.
But I mean, it was a stressful 3 days. But in the end, we got it done. And although we have one more scene to shoot, we got it done. And I felt like it was really good. And then the first day is always the hardest. Second day is kind of picking it up. And the third day,
was it?
yeah,
I felt like it got more stressful.
it was.
as
It
it
was
went on.
for you definitely because I kept pushing you. But then like, we were way more efficient.
That's true.
Way more efficient, especially since we got busier and busier and busier. And when we got it done, we finished, we wrapped. Everyone was happy. Everyone was tired as hell and out, but everyone was happy. We got it done.
I'm still so surprised no one was pissed. I
yeah,
mean,
it was a good crew.
how do you stay happy during that?
That's because our department heads, for
Some
sure.
kid, well, he's a great person. This is not a bad comment. He's great. His name's Ian. He's super cool. Ian, if you're listening, keep doing you. He came up to us after I think day 2, and he waited like 15 minutes for us to finish like our conversation. 'Cause we were doing like a department head meeting. He was like, "Hey guys, this is like my first set ever. Thank you guys so much.
It
It's
doesn't
been
sound
so
like that.
it's been like super cool experience, man."
You sound like what are the Canadian brothers? You know who I'm talking about?
I'm
sound
going
Take
like
off, you hoser.
You're Leo.
Take off, you hoser. Hey,
70s
I was
show.
going for Leo from that 70s show.
Hey man.
But yeah, that honestly meant a lot. Like especially since we were really worried about dragging the time on and pushing the crew to their absolute limit, And yeah, thank you, Ian. Our crew, we had a great crew, and they're definitely gonna come back. Besides,
Yeah.
But-
if we can.
Most
just
of
Oh,
them.
were you
keep that-
happy?
Most of them,
Were
yeah.
you happy or something?
I mean,
yeah. What is your overall feel? of the set?
I like how we worked on set, and I'm very proud of everyone. But like, you mean in terms of the film, like what
Just
we got?
overall, just how you felt about the
I
production.
feel good, but I won't really know how it's gonna turn out until I start editing because we were so pressed for time.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna fit together, all the pieces.
What time
was I
do you?
saying?
When do you think you're gonna start that edit?
Well, 362 is
We're-
coming up, which is
362 is our intermediate filmmaking course.
Yeah.
It's the one you take right before the senior thesis class. The big project at the end of the semester, which we're currently working on,
in
is a
pre-production for.
narrative film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's coming up, and that actually has a concrete deadline. So we're gonna have to finish doing that film first, and then I'm gonna come back to.
Oh,
this
so you're not
project.
gonna like try to finish the edit
I
before?
probably will
In spare time.
yeah, organize everything and maybe mess around with it to see what I have.
Because this
but
was an
yeah.
independent film. It wasn't for a
Yeah,
class
it
or
wasn't
anything.
for a class or anything, so there's no deadline, so I can just do it at my own pace. But yeah, we have another project coming up, which we're getting ready to do now.
Oh, Q is also he's writing and directing this one. I think we talked about it last one. This is he's directing. And then I was supposed to also pitch, but because we have like limited crew members in the class, like when you choose a group member in the class, every one of those group members have to be a department head, and I wanted free reign on choosing who my department heads are. So as a group, we all collectively decided that we were gonna do mine as an independent, just like Q's last set, and we
You
would
have
work on
free reign to work with whoever you want at whatever time.
exactly. And there's no deadline. Like we can do this whenever. But I don't want this to be like conflicting with my senior thesis next semester. So obviously it's gonna happen within the next 2 to 3 months at least.
Probably towards the beginning of the semester. when
Yeah,
there's no one else
I'm shooting for a
working
shoot
on
date in January, so that's like when we start the semester and everything. But yeah, I mean, good luck to us. We got a long couple months ahead of us. We'll see how that's gonna work out. But after that, Nolan, what do you work on this weekend? He was on something this weekend.
The past weekend?
This past
Yeah,
weekend.
this past weekend. So on, I think it was Friday.
Saturday.
No. I'm going like back to when they asked me.
Oh.
The
Thursday.
director. Oh, was it?
Yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
That's when I pulled out of it, and that's when I pulled out of it Thursday and had to offer a replacement.
Oh, okay. So, if you guys remember Luke from the last episode, the guy
One
who
on
called us on
FaceTime.
the phone, director of Baby Girl, he is running around San Diego right now doing a bunch of shoots. Kind of badass, actually. He just did an interview for an editing job. Him and
He
Cody both.
just got the job.
He did get the job.
really?
Both him and Cody just got hired.
Yeah.
No way.
You guys not know?
Nice.
I didn't know.
Well, we don't. I
Cody
haven't
got
talked to
hired.
him since yesterday.
I didn't know both of them got hired at all.
That's,
Oh,
That's
great.
crazy.
I think they found out this morning.
Great for
It's a
them.
nice job.
Oh
It's a
my God.
nice
Oh,
job.
Cody's coming later. Surprise.
Tonight?
Yes.
Hell yeah. Maybe we can get him to talk for a second.
I know he won't be here till like 10 or so.
Maybe we'll have him like do an outro. That'd be fun.
Yo.
But Luke called me and asked me if I could work on a live show with him and a few other people that we've mentioned before, Cody, Ryan.
Cody, Ryan, Jack was on there. Elena was involved. One of my old coworkers was Leiden. Shout out Leiden.
Shout out Leiden. Leiden was the realist on that one. He kept us calm, dude.
Yeah.
Relatively calm.
Leiden was there?
Yeah.
Dude, I love Leiden. He's so cool. Dude, he lived a floor below me, and I did not know that.
No,
Like,
he
literally.
lived next to you.
He lived with Dom?
He lived next to Dom.
Oh, like right there.
Yeah.
Wait,
He
that's
was
right.
2 doors down.
Yeah.
Two
I
doors
saw him
down.
all
If
the
you go,
time.
if you go one more, then you're listening to the best band in history.
Who's that?
that a
Shameless
band?
plug.
No.
Oh, is that a song?
Maybe.
3 doors down.
No, 2 doors down. That's a band.
No way.
That's
Two
a
Doors
band.
Down is
No,
a
no,
band.
3 doors down is, dude. 3 doors down is a band. You kidding me?
Is
Wait,
it
is
3
it Doors Down? No, it's Two Doors Down.
I thought it was 2 doors
No,
down.
we're thinking Two Door Cinema Club. Wait.
Dude, Kryptonite. Three doors down.
Is it 3 doors down? I used to play this song on Guitar Hero.
Hell yeah.
I play expert on Guitar Hero. Pussy.
Expert drums on Rock Band.
Sing
It's
it.
3 doors down, dude. My joke was on par.
I apologize.
Oh my god. We're thinking Two Door Cinema Club.
What is?
Which is
Oh,
a superior
That's
band.
what I was thinking. I was thinking
Oh.
Two Doors Cinema Club.
Superior.
Anyway,
Good
so
band.
there is this. It's a collective, and they're called Travelers Club, and they were playing at a venue called Soma, which is down here in San Diego. If you guys know where Valley View Casino Center is, where the Gulls play, which is a hockey team.
Do we have a hockey team?
Yeah, we have a minor
We
league
do.
hockey team,
Oh,
minor league.
Minor league.
not a major league.
Pussies.
Pussies.
There's it's like down the street from there. It's called Soma, and it's basically just a stage and then an entire floor space, and there's just people that can go there and they dance and listen to music. So it was like a big collective of a bunch of music groups, and they were all asking to get recorded, and there were 2 sets of videographers there. There was one group, and then there was our group, and we ran into a bunch of problems at the beginning of it. Lots of stuff that should have been organized in
Like
pre-production. and I
administrative
think-
stuff.
Huh?
Like administrative stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff that should have been organized in pre-production, but it wasn't. The venue kind of treated us like shit, and Travelers Club didn't. I don't think they were as prepared. I'm not saying that they did a bad job. I just don't think that they were prepared for what was going to happen. I want to say it was like 7 artists that performed. It was a mix between artists and DJs, and everything leading up to the event itself was stressful and it sucked. It was shitty. And then once we actually got to the event and once we were actually filming, everything was fine. I'm going to skip over all the shitty parts because most of this episode's been kind of negative. But
Yeah, Eldon.
No, I said it was good. I liked it.
Your presence is negative. I'm kidding.
Step out of the
I'm
room.
gonna fucking cry. I'm gonna cry. I'm crying.
once we actually started filming, it was actually a lot of fun. It was just like any live event, but instead of having cameras stabbed off with tripods, we got to move around. So I was a camera operator. I was moving in between like all the artists and stuff like that. And it was interesting, like being in that type of space because it was very loud. And so I even had earplugs in and my ears still got really messed up after all of it. And I was like standing in front of subwoofers and just having it like push my shirt and stuff
Really?
like that. Yeah,
That's
it was kind of
crazy.
cool. We weren't allowed to go up on the stage. I know Jack went up on the stage.
Wait, you guys weren't allowed to?
No, because we didn't have the proper media bands.
Oh.
So you had to have wristbands. You had to have certain wristbands to do a bunch of different things. And there were supposed to be like 4 or 5, and I only got 2. And I was one of the ones that only had 2 from our crew. So there was one wristband that was media. There was one wristband that was that allowed you to go up and down the stairs that went up into the artist room, which is also where we had our DIT set up to offload footage. There was another one that you needed to get onto the stage. And they weren't, I think it was Soma. Soma wasn't letting us go out onto the fucking stage because it was a safety hazard. Guess what, dude? There weren't that many people there to begin with. And also, if it is a safety thing, don't have as many fucking people on the stage. Because I saw the wings behind, like where everyone was standing. There were so many people up there. There shouldn't
Damn.
have been that many people
So
up
they were
there.
like concerned about things that were just unnecessary when other things were happening. They're just giving you guys a hard time.
Yeah, if you know how to run a live event, like you can get away with a few safety things. Like it's not that big of a deal. So don't stress the small shit. But a lot of the footage looks really, really cool.
Nice. I'm excited to see it.
So Luke and Ryan and Cody and Jack all got to man. I'm pretty sure Jack did, but they all got to man the C300 on a shoulder rig. I was running around with my A7R2 the entire time, and we had a few other cameras just played out. And what was really cool for me was we brought the Mix Pre 3 and we plugged it in, or we were able to get an audio feed from the guy who was doing all the live audio mixing, and we were able to get that feed, and it sounds so nice.
Really?
If you guys get to
Ooh.
ever use a Mix Pre 3, it's just a very nice piece of hardware.
What is it? What is a mix pre?
Mix Pre 3, or just the Mix Pre series, it's a bunch of hardware that has it's classified as an audio mixer. It's meant for field recording. Field recording is when you go out and literally mix on set. And what you can do with all that stuff is you can designate how loud someone is, how loud one of the inputs is. And they're called like Mix Pre 3, Mix Pre 6, based off of how many inputs are in them. And they range from 3 to 6 to 10. And so you can have up to 10 inputs. And it's just a really awesome piece of audio hardware. There is a analog to digital converter in there, and it uses something called an analog limiter, which that basically means if you're starting to clip on your audio, it'll catch the audio before it clips and distorts any of the data, and it'll bring it down. Whereas like if you have a digital converter in there, it's already fucked up.
Which
it's already
like
messed up.
it's so good when you're field recording because you never know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Like I know Zoom just came out with their F6, which is a dual analog to digital converter.
And it's 32 float.
Yeah.
It records at 32-bit float, which is pretty high when we're talking about audio. But that's the Mix Pre series. They just came out with the 2 relatively recently. I think it was within this year. If you ever get the chance to use any of those are great.
Oh yeah.
They're very durable. I haven't dropped one yet. They're really light. They're really compact.
No, like the little rings on it, they're for like belts. Like you can hook like a belt through it.
No, that's for the F6, my friend.
No. And the Mix Pre, like the little hooks on the side. There's also for the belts, like you can clip it to like a harness.
Oh, that's such a shitty.
Oh yeah, it's really bad.
Nah.
But at the same time, they're also designed to like protect the knobs and everything.
Yeah.
Like the entire frame of it is like it's not aluminum. It's freaking steel. It's heavy.
Yeah.
It's a freaking durable boy.
Anyway, the feed that I was getting from that, sometimes with live feed, it could be a little weird. It sounded super clean, sounds super good. I gave it to my friend Jack, who worked on the set because he really wanted it. He's like, I want this person's set so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I gave it to him, and he has been listening to it nonstop. And I showed it to Luke, and Luke's the main one that I care about because he's the one that's actually editing this piece. And he really likes it too.
Nice.
Him and Cody both vibe out to it all the time.
Nice.
It just sounds so good. And I was surprised because you don't typically get that good of a feed out of a mixer like that.
Yeah.
And because it's not meant for something like that. It is an audio interface, but it's not meant for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's called Future Standard. It should be coming out maybe within the next 2 months, something like that, from the time this is recorded. And today is October 15th.
Nice.
It was a interesting time. I think I was filming for like, I think I filmed for about 5 hours straight, because there were 7 artists and some of them took an hour.
Quick question about Mix Pre 3.
What's up?
How many channels can it record to?
The Mix Pre 3?
Is it 3?
It records to 3. Oh, wait. No, that's how many inputs it takes.
Ah.
The amount of channels that you can have. So whenever you get a Mix Pre, it already has a left and right, which is the stereo. And then you can get a mono track with each of the inputs. So technically...
You okay there?
So technically, if I have all 3 microphones plugged in, or all 3 inputs plugged in, I can get 5. So it records a master track, which is the left and right stereo, and then 1 mono, 2 mono, 3 mono. And even then you can change those to be stereo too, but it's compact into that one track.
Does it like distort the sound if you uncompact it? Like,
No,
does it really change?
no, it's really hard to fuck up audio like that. It's not like a camera.
Oh, okay.
That's what I've been learning more and more recently, is like, it's really, really hard to mess up audio in the ways that you mess up on a camera.
Yeah.
The hardware and the software is meant to actually work with you,
Yeah.
as opposed to like a camera. I feel like a camera, you have to control it a lot more.
Yeah, you have to understand the entire thing.
Nothing against cameras. I like cameras.
Yeah. Yeah.
I geek out about them all the time.
Dude, some sound equipment, it's like crazy. I mean, like I was talking about the new F6, like there's no way to fuck up audio. Like, I mean, you really, really gotta fuck up the audio, like damage the hardware in order for it to not work. Like you can scream the entire time and still be able to bring it back down in post, or like whisper and then still be able to bring it back up.
No, it's definitely a nifty piece of hardware. That's something that I would like to get my hands on at some point. It's either that or like maybe one of the Mix Pre's, because those are pretty versatile too.
Yeah.
Something to note though, on the Mix Pre, I'm not sure about the Mix Pre. On the Mix Pre 6 and the Mix Pre 10, I'm not sure about the 10, but on the 6, you actually only get 4 XLR inputs and 2 3.5 millimeter inputs. 3.5 millimeter input, it's like something like that.
It's like a regular headphone jack size. Yeah.
And then XLR is a 3-pin.
Yeah.
It's 3 pins that look like a little triangle. You always put them in upside down, because I don't know why. Something that's interesting on the Sky panel, it uses XLR as a power input.
That's
DMX.
Oh, it might be a DMX actually,
not. Yeah.
because you have to plug it in from the ballast into the light. A ballast.
Right?
No,
That's
no,
right?
I'm not talking about that. There is a 3 pin on there. I think it is an
I
XLR.
thought XLR was only sound.
No, I mean like phantom power with microphones.
Oh, that's right. But something that big with phantom power. I mean,
if you're-
it is LED though.
But the thing is, the ballast is outputting it differently. The ballast supplies power to
I never
the big
touch the lights,
lights.
so I never see it. But
Yeah.
I mean, if that works, I mean, if that's what the case, that's insane. Like,
Yeah.
it barely draws any power. That's the thing. But the thing is, it still overheats. And it's still like there's
What, the
vents
Sky
in-
panel?
Yeah, the Sky panel. It's like
Sky panel does get hot. Yeah, it gets exceptionally hot. For being an LED. I think the problem with that is just because it has that ballast, it is throwing in a little bit more power. It's not like a 2K Lupo or something like that. Because 2K Lupos, they don't really get that warm, do they?
The Lupos, no,
At all.
no, at all. Like literally, at the second you finish shooting, you just turn it off and just pack it back into the box. You can
Those
just
lights
touch it.
also aren't as strong though.
No, dude, Mole just came out. I don't know if you guys went to Mole Richardson. They came
heard
out
about that.
with their own
LED.
LEDs. I mean, they're big. They're like, no, it's not tungsten. They're like this big. They output up to 10K, and then they look so nice.
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
They use Fresnel lenses, which if you guys don't know what Fresnel lenses are, someone can describe it better than me.
A Fresnel lens is a type of lens that goes on a light, and if you look at it from the profile of it, it's got like a bunch of jags on it. And what that basically allows you to do is you can either focus the light more or you can bring it back, and it also adds a little bit of texture to your light, so it's not necessarily consistent the entire time.
Spread out more evenly too, or something.
It does spread out more
Yeah.
evenly. So when you want to spot or flood the light, either make it like a spotlight, like really hot and tight, or you want to flood it out, make it really wide, like a wide.
Now, Mole Richardson was basically the pioneer for the like film lights way back, like the studio era, like 1920s when they first started filmmaking, and they built all the lights that all of these films used, and then them switching to LEDs. That's such a big deal because like
huge.
a lot of people in the film industry, even though LEDs are better, but they're more expensive, but they're more cost effective, if that makes sense. And
It's an expensive light.
yeah, and the thing is, them
No, I'm
switching to
talking about
LEDs.
the LED, the new LED.
Dude, I talked to the guy at Mold Richardson. He said that he's not supposed to tell anyone the prices because they're just developing it and it's all prototypes. But they're looking at around like, what was it, like $6,000-$7,000 each, just for the light,
The
not
1600 watt light, which I can see is the most expensive one, $11,696.10 from Andromeda camera.
yeah. It's
That's an
insane.
expensive light.
And the thing is, it's just like the Lupos that you can. It's LEDs. You can change the color. So just like what Nolan was talking about, the sky panels, because they're LED, they have like preset settings for like lightning, but they're not just white and tungsten lights. Yeah, you can like when you switch it on to the police bar mode, it literally switches the light to red, yellow, and blue, and then it just flashes like it's LED. There's so many things you can do with it, and LED is just insane.
Wait, can you change the color with the LEDs on these new molds? Though?
Oh yeah, everything. It's literally like
That's
a
pretty sweet.
touchscreen iPad, and then you literally just like drag it up and down. There's preset settings. It's crazy. There's an app for it too.
You know, it'd be sweet. There was like a built-in. You can't do this, but if there was like a built-in histogram on it, or like something that would like predetermine what would be on your histogram, that also depends on the camera that you have, and the lighting situation.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't really.
No, they
work.
do have presets. So they do have presets. So you can select what camera. I mean, you can't. It won't be like, oh, I have a Canon DSLR camera on there. No, it's like cine cameras. But you can literally set that you're using like a Arri Alexa mini camera on there, and it'll like and then what LUT and all of that, and then it'll predetermine what kind of light fits what, But some DPs don't like that. Some DPs like to be stylistic with their own things, kind of.
I was about to burp and it just didn't come out.
Nice. That was very embarrassing, honestly. But yeah, so I mean that's the new wave, I guess. They're just being more technological. It's just more expensive but more cost effective.
Wow.
That was impressive.
I wasn't even close to the mic.
I know.
I still
I'm
heard
scared.
More power.
We're wrapping it up.
Yeah,
so-
it was kind of cut a little. It was kind of cut a little. Like we didn't fade out or anything like that, but we talked about a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to fit in there. And then the next time we record, it's probably gonna be more.
There it is.
There it is. That's the outro. Goodbye.
That sounded like a dinosaur.
I'm gonna use that.
Are we not gonna harmonize?
Oh yeah.
We don't harmonize at the end.
Yeah.
For
What?
the
Are you
outro?
kidding me? Read a science
No.
book, stupid. You idiot! What the fuck?
Make sure you email us at realtorealask@gmail.com. One more time. That's,
Email me pictures of your dog.
That's actually what we want. We don't really want to.
yeah, we don't actually want questions. REALTOREALASK@gmail.com. Hopefully you know how to spell gmail.com.
/ we rule.
No, there's no
that's an
backslash.
email. Are you...
Okay.
Okay.
He's a gassy boy.
This is
I'm lactose
Eldon.
intolerant,
Oh,
and I
nope.
just had 3 slices
That's
of pizza.
lactose intolerant. I'm Eldon.
I'm Q.
I'm Nolan.
I'm lactose intolerant. Eduardo.
And this is Real to Real.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
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 You got us a slice?
No.